I, 26 female, didn't meet any of my mom's family until I was a young teen. The only reason we met at all is my mom died from cancer. She was single and had made plans for me with a friend of hers. But when Mom died, the friend changed her mind about letting me live with her and her family, so I went to foster care and then to my biological aunt. My mom had told me some stuff about her family that was not great, but it was stuff about her brother that really got to her and me and was the reason she didn't speak to them. So my mom had a brother who was possibly autistic or had some other diagnosis, but he was a picky eater and their parents were awful to him because of it. I'm talking about feeding him when he couldn't eat and letting him starve so he'd give in and eat something. They refused to make any accommodations for someone eating in their home. You ate what was made and how it was made and nothing else would be offered. Don't like gravy? Too bad, it's all over everything. Don't like the steak? Too bad, you're getting it and that'll fill most of the plate. My mom remembered how she hated broccoli and sprouts and how she would get more of them on her plate if she didn't eat them. But her brother was treated even worse. It was messed up and he left the family when he was only 16. My mom never found him, but she searched for him for years. Mom said her other siblings supported what the parents did and argued with her when she called out the parents for mistreating their brother. I know my mom would have hated me living with her family. She tried to prevent it too, but her plan went to crap. I only lived with my aunt for 3 years but became close to 2 of my cousins. I never liked my aunts, uncles or grandparents who are now very elderly. Abby is one of those cousins. She has one child who was diagnosed with ARIFD, Avoidant Restrictive Food Intake Disorder, last year. It's been a stress for her, and her parents and grandparents have offered her help in free babysitting. When she told me, I brought up what Mum had told her and I warned her she should be careful about leaving her child with them. She believed me and ended up turning down the offer of babysitting. But they asked more and more and never said anything about her child's feeding therapies or diagnosis, but said she was clearly struggling and they could help. She told them she didn't want history to repeat. Since none of my cousins knew about it, and none of my aunts or uncles saw anything wrong with it, they realized I'd said something. I got a lot of crap for spoiling the relationship, and I was told I should mind my own business. Abby doesn't think I was wrong and told me she was glad I warned her, but I wonder if others would think I'm the idiot. Your mom's friend lied to a dying woman. Sorry, but that part gets to me. What a terrible person. You are not the idiot. You were right to warn cousin. They'd babysit one time and undo everything the feeding therapist did. Better safe than sorry, OP. Sounds like your cousin heard you and accepted the story. I bet your grandparents thought they could erase the ARFID out of the poor kid. Disagree. Everyone's the idiot here. I see where you are repeating the things you heard from your mother. I do not see where you're saying you personally experienced maltreatment. Your grandparents didn't have any of the knowledge around neurodiversity you do today. When their kids were little, you had 3 options: sort the kid out, lock them in a horrifying institution, or hide them from the world so social services didn't take them away. They did what they could with the tools they had. That doesn't make their behavior right. It means their behavior was a normal product of the era. It also means you've locked yourself into a prejudice based on little to no evidence. It doesn't appear anyone discussed any of it with them, and there's nothing to indicate they haven't learned new ways. It doesn't take science or education to not hurt your own child. It's just how things should be. If you do it, you're a disgusting person, no matter the day and age. You're saving Abby's child from what your uncle went through. The rest of the family wants to continue as they always have. I hope the cousin doesn't cave to their pressure. Be there for her. You did the right thing. I'm a 43-year-old male who lives in Canada. My wife ended our marriage 3 years ago. She started having an affair with her married friend. She filed for divorce and left me and the kids, a young teen male and a tween female, to be with the new love in the USA. I have full custody of the kids. It was really hard at first, but now we have a good routine going on and the kids are doing great. They see a therapist regularly. I never dated after my divorce. I started working out mostly for stress relief and joined a running club called Boring Running Dads. I'm mentally in a better space. My best friend's wife messaged me that she thinks she found the perfect match for me. She said, "She's perfect. She's a single mom, she's cute and very outgoing. What are you doing on Friday night?" I told her I was driving my daughter to her practice and my son wanted to bring a friend over to play video games later. She said she'd volunteer to help so I could go on the date. I told my kids that I was having dinner with a friend and she, my best friend's wife, would be helping me. Here's the thing. She showed up, she's 37 and she was very pretty. She has 3 kids with 2 dads. The dads are in the picture and we get along great. Her kids, the two oldest, are around mine. Then she started saying how fun she was. She goes clubbing with another single mom all the time. I was surprised because at our age clubbing is weird, but I thought maybe it was because I'm a boring person. She was laughing and bragging about how she got intoxicated once and her other mom friend convinced her to do some sugar. She said her sister is her best friend too and always gives her great advice. I was like, oh, that's nice. Does she have kids? She said no, haha, that doesn't fit her lifestyle. She works as a dancer at a club. Here is why I might have been an idiot. After I paid the bill, she asked me to go back to her place because the kids were with their dads. I lied and said I couldn't because I had to go get my kids. When I got back, I told my best friend's wife I really didn't click with her. She tried to convince me to give her another chance and it's been so long for you and I'm out of touch with reality. She said I was a judgy idiot that I judged her based on her sister and friends. I told her I'd think about it. I thought about it and texted her. I said, thank you for going out with me, but I think we want different things in life. Good luck. Then I blocked her. Apparently, she called my friend's wife and got angry for setting her up with an idiot. She got angry because she didn't expect a rejection. My friend and his wife were angry and said I should have at least given her a chance, and I embarrassed myself by being a backward person. My friend's wife even said I can see why your wife left your boring self. Am I the idiot for rejecting a single mom? Giving her a chance is just wasting everyone's time. You didn't click. It happens all the time. But darn, your friend's wife is really acting inappropriately. Her reaction was not okay. So it didn't work out, so she turns into a raging, name-calling lunatic. I tell your friend you need some distance, that what she did was completely uncalled for, and no one speaks to you that way. Do your best friend and his wife even know you at all? You literally are in a group called Boring Running Dads. They thought the perfect match for you was the clubbing party single mom with multiple kids from multiple dads. Now they're blaming you for not wanting to try to date someone who is nothing like what you want in your life. That's some next level crap from your friend and his wife. They are very much the idiot here. They probably thought OP needed some fun to balance him out. The friends are probably like way too many extroverts that see introverts and feel sorry for them and think they're suffering from a lack of, failing to realize there are people out there and that just don't crave social interaction on a nuclear level. OP should have told the friend's wife where to shove her matchmaking skills. I, 34 male, recently won a significant amount in the lottery. It was a life-changing amount, but not the kind where you end up on the Forbes list. After paying off debts and setting up college funds for my kids, I plan to invest the rest for future security. My family has always been close-knit and we've supported each other through tough times. Since my win, I've helped my immediate family, parents and siblings, with some major bills and financial issues. I thought everyone would be happy with this arrangement. However, at a family gathering last week, one of my uncles brought up the idea of me giving each family member a portion of the winnings. This includes distant cousins, second cousins, and even family friends, amounting to over 30 people. I laughed it off initially, thinking it was a joke. However, several family members approached me throughout the night, mentioning how much they could use the money to ease their lives. I got frustrated and finally announced that I had no intention of splitting my winnings further and believed what I'd already given was enough. This caused a huge uproar. Some family members accused me of being selfish and greedy, and my aunt even said I was forgetting my roots and those who stood by me during my lowest lows. Now I feel cornered and upset. I believe I should be allowed to enjoy the fruits of my, admittedly lucky, labour without being deemed an ATM. My partner thinks I should ignore them and do what's best for our immediate family, but the tension has made me second-guess whether I'm being unfair. Am I the idiot for wanting to keep the rest of my lottery winnings to myself and not distribute them among my extended family and friends? Not an idiot, but it's never a good idea to tell the family about the money you come into. There are always going to be greedy people coming out. I've never understood why people go public with lottery wins. All the beggars come running. What did they do when standing by you at your lowest? Did they give you free places to live, a used car, or help pay bills or tuition? In that case, by all means, come up with a way to repay. Were they just a sympathetic ear in a rough time? Go to the local gas station and buy each of them a $5 scratcher, hand them out at the next family gathering, and be done with the crap. I think your family needs a lesson in the concept of my money, my choice. Splitting the money in so many ways would make it worthless eventually. You have a rare, probably once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to really stabilize your life, provide for your children, get out of debt, and set your immediate family up for success. The fact that you helped your parents and siblings does not entitle a third cousin twice removed to your money or 30 other people who are far removed from you. Your money is not the family money. It is yours alone. I, 30 male, was engaged to a woman, 30, but I was forced to call off our engagement a couple of months ago. We were close to our wedding and I found out she'd been having an affair under my nose for months with a close mutual friend. She unashamedly left the house in the middle of the night to see him, then came back and confessed to me where she'd been. The wedding that we cancelled cost thousands, and we're also trying to sell the house we've only been in for 18 months. She moved out to stay with a nearby step-parent, and I'm in the house as we sell it. I hope none of you have ever been in that situation, but if you have, you'll be aware of the myriad of anger, pain, doubt, frustration, heartbreak and sadness you feel. She's paying her share of the mortgage and comes back occasionally to get stuff. When she's been back the past few times, she's tried to make conversation and I can't even look at her. I can't even look in her direction. I give one-word answers at best and am beyond blunt, but not rude with her. She's changed her hair, bought new clothes, and seemingly walked around as the world has moved on, and so has she. The past few times she's been back at the house, she's talked to me and I've ignored her. I've just blanked her. She's asked me questions like, "Did you have a good week? How's things? Is work busy?" etc. and I've just ignored her. To interact with her hurts too much. We've had a few house viewings lately and she wanted to ask me about who'd do them. Again, I'd blank her. She'd roll her eyes, look at me and say, "Why are you like this? I just don't understand how you can be like this. And why are you like this now? It's been a few months." She's seen me leaving the house before when she's been back and asked where I'm going, when I'll be back and who I'm going to see, and again, no answer. The only replies she gets are messages on WhatsApp related to selling the house. I'll give blunt messages and not reply to pleasantries or messages that don't require it. I got messages recently to say I was being childish, I was being juvenile, I wasn't helping, my refusal to talk to her was just stupid, etc. I want to scream at her about what she's done and the extent of her betrayal, but I'm not stupid enough to think she'd listen. I'm not stupid enough to think it would change anything. The message, "I just don't understand where this is all coming from," is the last one she sent me. I want to lock the door on the day we sell the house, get into my car silently as she's moving out the last of her stuff, and just get into my car and drive off. Am I the idiot for refusing to talk at all to my cheating ex-fiancée even when she talks to me? Not the idiot. The audacity of her to think you can treat people like crap and not have consequences. People are not toys. You can't play with them, leave them when you're bored and expect them to still be there when you come back. Tell her bluntly that you want nothing to do with her, she's a disgusting person, and to stop acting like there's any possibility that a reasonable person in your position could look at her and not want to be sick. Then don't engage. I think it's more likely she wants the appearance that it ended on good terms. She's obviously not happy or she wouldn't be so hung up on this. By OP still ignoring her reminds her she did something wrong and makes her feel guilty when she doesn't want to. She wants absolution and forgiveness in public so her new image is complete and she can go about without people talking behind her back. Agreed. Starve her of attention and validation. Know this treatment is far more intelligent and smarter than 99% of people in your situation would be capable of. She wants you to scream anger at her or cry that you forgive and want her back. She wants to hear she broke you, and it's killing her self-image that you ignore her. You're 30 and the best life lies ahead. Now that this selfish narcissist is out of the way, you will be free to find a good, loyal, faithful girl who's meant to be your person. My husband and I have 3 kids, a young teen male, a young teen female, and a tween male. We used to live in a 2-bedroomed house where all the kids stayed in the same room and shared the same bathroom. There were many arguments about bedroom and bathroom space, especially amongst the 2 oldest. We've just purchased our first home and the house has 3 bedrooms. As my middle child is the only girl, I thought it would be more appropriate for her to have her own room and bathroom away from the boys, so I gave her the sole bedroom, bathroom, and the boys shared a room. However, my oldest son has been moping about it ever since we moved in. He believes that since he's the oldest, he should have his own room. I told him it's better for him and his brother to be in one room, but he still complains about having to share a room with a little kid and not having his own space. My oldest daughter has started barging in my daughter's bathroom when he has his own with his little brother. I told him to stay out of his sister's bathroom, but he got upset, saying he doesn't have a darn thing to himself. I grounded him for cussing at me. Later on, my husband went and talked with my son, and now he thinks maybe our son is right and that he should have his own room as the oldest. I'm honestly leaning toward everyone's the idiot here. Your son is old enough to understand why his sister shouldn't be sharing a room with her younger brother at that age. That said, though, it seems he feels like you're playing favourites, and rather than address those feelings, you're just effectively telling him to do what he's told. You're completely ignoring his feelings. You also mention him barging into his sister's bathroom, which implies that the bathroom isn't attached to her bedroom or anything, so the only thing dictating it, as her bathroom, is you. You are the idiot for not choosing a house big enough for all of you. I wouldn't have purchased a 3-bedroomed home when I had 3 kids. However, giving your daughter her own room makes sense, but she also gets her own bathroom. What space does either of the boys have that is just for them? Does your oldest son have anything that's just his? Or is it all about your daughter? And you really grounded him for saying darn? What the heck is wrong with you? This is a ridiculous take. Not everyone can afford a 4-bedroomed home. A young teen girl shouldn't be sharing a room with her brother if it's possible not to. The tween is a little kid now, but he will also be going through puberty in a couple of years. The boys should share regardless of who is older. I can't believe so many people are questioning why they didn't buy a house with more bedrooms or why the parents don't give up their room for the kids. There are some seriously privileged people with no sense of how the real world works. Kids share rooms all the time with their siblings. It's normal. It might not be ideal, but they'll survive. It'll make their college years much easier because they'll be used to sharing.